Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Not Your Mother's Advice, episode 7. We're almost to double digits. That's crazy.
It's a big deal for us.
So a very awesome listener noted, actually probably a lot of people have noted, that our sound was not so great. So they actually gave us a microphone for our broadcast.
Is it helping?
There's a few people here now. How does the sound? Trust me, I have a really good joke, actually, I wanted to tell you.
Okay, in a minute. Is it working, honestly? We're going to wait like 5 more minutes for more people to join, and then we'll get started.
Well, can I tell you the joke first? Can anyone hear us?
Good.
Can you hear us good?
Okay, good.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so the joke I thought of. So I grew up on a farm, right?
Yeah.
And so it was always fun to get like new animals. Like I grew up and I had like cows, chickens, ponies, horses, goats, pigs, rabbits, like everything. So I was just thinking about this. I got a goat when I was like maybe like 13 or 14. I was super excited about this goat, and I cannot for the life of me remember her name. But anyways, I was excited one day because I walked out to go feed her, and she had popped out twins, and like we didn't even know she was pregnant, and neither did the people who sold us the goat. Yeah. Like she was like $20, like not super expensive. Mm-hmm. But then I was thinking today, it was like buy one get 2 free, so it was like Bogoat. It's Bogoat. And that's the things that keep me up at night, and I can't sleep, and I think of stupid things like that. Amy,
wow.
Read your comments. Oh, we're trying to. I had to tell my joke first.
It was. Did you hear that? Did you hear the joke?
Yeah. I'm here, guys. So we're gonna do
masks tonight.
Yes.
It's masks and mimosas night.
M&M.
We're really excited, actually. So we got this mask.
Mm-hmm. I just got off work. I'm exhausted. We were on 12s all week, and
has anybody done this?
Yes, I got the joke.
Okay,
good.
Amy's my cousin.
Hi, Amy. Cousins of Kara.
Cousin.
Like cousin of Kara. It's like the old-timey like son of Benjamin. The second.
Oh well, so we're gonna apply our masks and then we'll answer questions.
Yeah, so remember last time we talked about doing a Truth or Dare episode also. Mm-hmm. We don't know how that's going to go because sometimes people will comment a lot and then sometimes they don't. So
we kind of just have other questions tonight, and then if you guys have any questions you want to ask, and we just kind of want to see how it goes, and then if there's enough attention for that, then we'll do a Truth or Dare night.
Yeah,
mostly
truth. So we'll truth or
really?
Well, it's truth,
not really dare. It's
truth, or if we don't want to answer the question, we have to drink.
Shot.
Yeah. So you can start like rolling those in if you want, and if there's enough,
you absolutely should have stayed.
If there's enough feedback, we'll just ignore all the other questions we have, but we have questions just in case.
Yeah, we have a lot of them actually.
So how was everyone's Christmas? I don't even want to talk about mine.
We don't want to talk about hers. Mine was good. I had a great Christmas, like one of the best ones I've had in a long time.
I missed you.
I missed you, like so much.
It smells like
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh.
Smells like Play-Doh. I was gonna say like
Why does it smell
does smell like Play-Doh, but it's for sensitive skin. So
let the games begin.
It's supposed to.
It smells like Play-Doh a lot.
It's supposed
to. If I get a rash from this, I'm gonna be so mad. Kara's just really trying to make me have a rash on my face at work tomorrow.
There's a lot of, look at how healthy this is. Look at all that.
That's all the things it doesn't have in it.
And it's for, I know, it's like it's missing all those chemicals, which is nice. So, anyway, it's good.
I don't like the way it smells.
It does, I was literally just playing with Play-Doh earlier, and it smells like the cookies that I just made.
It smells like Play-Doh a lot.
With Inslee. I know.
It's under my nose. I
shouldn't
have done that. That was a bad choice.
Putting it, yeah. Just like wipe it. There you go.
This is hard because it's mirror image.
I'm going to look like 10 years younger when this is over.
That'd be a pretty good trick.
So, you look really good right now.
So do you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to start with our questions.
Why does it look blue on your face? Is it blue on my face too?
No, yeah, I think you have to like do it thicker. Like you have to like layer it in there. It's like
Oh,
longer.
it's mirror image, so I'm like, I'm having a hard time here.
Yeah, I think it looks. Well, maybe I should put more on my forehead.
Okay. So maybe it would have made my zit go away, or at least pull it out.
It's yeah, that's why I'm doing it. It's anti-acne and aging. So, all right, let's begin.
Let's begin. Play-Doh. Let the Play-Doh
Okay.
wash over you.
It's literally all I can smell.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a lot of Play-Doh.
Here is our first question from a woman who wants to be anonymous. Do you celebrate monthly anniversaries as a couple on your first year together? I'm going to say no. Like, it's cute to be like, oh, we've been together for a month or two or whatever. But I think it'd be fun to, like, randomly, like, 7 months in, like, take him or her out to eat and be like, what are we doing? Oh, it's our 7-month anniversary. Like, that's cute. But I don't think every month, I think that would be excessive and a lot to remember for me.
I mean, if you want to, cool. Like, if you're both down for it and, like, always, like, want to do that, then cool. But I don't think it should be, like, an expectation.
Yeah. I think if you're not in this, like, if the one person doesn't want to, I don't think the other person should be upset about it. So that's, yeah, maybe, I feel like 6 months is a good number. Like, we made
like,
it half a year.
Yeah, celebrate, like, the bigger milestones, like 6 months or a year or whatever.
Nowadays, 6 months is, like, a lifetime to make it with somebody. My skin is, like, really tingly. Like, all I can smell is Play-Doh.
I think the lighting's really bad in here. My face looks really blotchy.
I'll be honest.
Your face looks blue.
Away all my nightstands, and they're all pointing at us at the end of my bed.
Yeah.
If you can see what my room looks like right now, just to have, like, a little bit of lighting.
One day we'll look back on this and
one
be
day,
like, look where we started.
Look where we started with your lamps and we're piled on Christmas presents. The laptop is. So, okay, next. What do women really think about Valentine's Day?
I mean, if you have a significant other, it's fun to celebrate, but honestly, I don't like celebrating it on the day because everyone else is. And so everything's booked up and traffic is terrible and, like, we go to a restaurant and I just, you know my feeling about holidays.
I was already like, this is going to be a no. Like,
I'd rather celebrate it on, like, a different day than Valentine's Day so that it's not, I don't know.
My thought
it's not as fun.
It's very overdone and there's a lot of expectations put on men. Mm-hmm. Like, as a woman, I feel like to go buy a dozen roses on Valentine's Day is a waste of money. Oh, that's awkward.
I was.
That's
probably why I look familiar.
Yeah. So I would say I think it's a good thing to have if you have a significant other. And the funny thing is, like, most people are, like, anti-Valentine's Day when they're in a relationship, but then when you're single, you're like, this sucks. I'm single on Valentine's Day. Yeah. So I feel like you should do something, like, maybe you, like, cook at home the night of because everybody's out and about, but I think you should celebrate it for sure. And I think it means more if you celebrate it, like, the week before or the week after, because then you're not expecting it. And you can save money on everything.
Yeah, everything costs more on Valentine's Day.
It does.
Plus, I feel like when you're at a restaurant, they, like, rush you through so much more because they're trying to, like, make room for the next people, and it's busy and it's not fun.
It's not enjoyable, and it's expensive, and you can't hear each other because there's, like, everybody's out there.
Everybody and their mom.
Yeah.
And their significant other.
Yeah. Okay, next question. Do you still get butterflies after you've been married for a while?
What's a while?
What's a while? I mean, I really can't say because here we are. Clearly, we're not married. So, I've been married though, and I would say yes. It takes a lot of work. It just kind of depends on the couple. Like, if you're still going to put the work in that you got, like, when you pursued each other and fell in love and all that. I think a lot of people stop trying and stop doing all those things that give you butterflies. So I guess if you want to have them, I would assume you could still have them as long as you're still trying and, like, doing those little things for the other person.
I think it doesn't happen as often, but, like, even when I was married before, like, after, like, 8, 9-ish years, like, he was military, so he was gone a lot. And so, like, when he'd be gone for 6 months and he'd come back home, then you get butterflies again, you know? Because you're just excited to see them, and it's been a while. But other than that, like, it kind of goes away. That's kind of like a new love type thing, I think.
Yeah, definitely not as
they
often.
eventually,
or I feel like maybe, like, when I was married, you'd go through, like, the valleys, and you'd be like, you'd be up for a while and be like, oh, I have butterflies again. And I'm, like, really excited and in love, and then it kind of, you know, but
life kind of just does this.
Yeah.
You gotta ride the waves.
Yeah. Okay. we have a lot of questions. So
many.
this is a mom question. This gal asked, she said, my daughter is 11 and has been very disrespectful. She's been lying. I have tried timeout, spanking. I've grounded her. I've taken everything away. What do we do? I'll be honest. Last year, we had a lot of behavior issues with my daughter, McKinley, and we had to go meet with the school and the counselor and the teacher and just be very like on top of things and hold her accountable at home. But getting her into counseling was actually a really like huge thing for us because we realized that she was doing these things. She's acting out because she had these things inside of her that she needed to work through. And I feel like most kids, I mean, kids can just be disrespectful and they go through the lying stage, but I feel like you really need to get to like the root of why she's doing it. And that's what we did with McKinley. And it's been like a night and day. Like this year, she's at the top of her class. Her grades are perfect. She gets along with people. She's a leader. Last year, it was just not the case. So I would say clearly punishing her, the way you're punishing her isn't effective. There's a lot of books you can read. Dealing with a strong-willed child. I think something like that. Parenting a strong-willed child. I read that. That helped a lot as far as like parenting techniques. But not all kids respond the same way. And so she might not really respond to timeout and grounding. Well,
that's the other thing too is like, because my son is 11 and it's like, how do you really punish them? Because I don't feel like at 11, like that's really a spanking age necessarily either. Like,
I think she just meant like throughout kind of life.
Oh, okay.
Well, clearly that's not. I mean, that's weird.
Like you kind of, and every kid reacts differently to different disciplines. So it's just kind of like, I think sometimes counseling is the answer because a lot of kids go through a lot more than they should have to with split up families, like divorce and step parents and step brothers and sisters. And so kids have to deal with a lot more than like even I had to deal with growing up. Like my parents are still married and your parents are still married. Like I didn't have to deal with all the stuff my kids have to deal with.
Well, and that's one thing like we learned about McKinley is like we'd get frustrated with her, we'd punish her and stuff, but really she was just like in her own way, she was reaching out because she needed something from us. Because like we went through a divorce and, you know, living in both houses. And so she was acting out. So like us being like hands-on and counseling with her and more involved in school and all that has really helped her and us working together better. So it kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah, that's a hard one though. Because I mean, I've talked to you about some things with my son where I'm like, I don't know what to do right now. I don't know how to handle this.
A lot of things happen.
I'm just going to have to think about this one for a while.
Okay. This is a long one. This is
Amy says, take away things they enjoy the most. That's really, I think all you can do too is, you know, obviously talk to him about like, what's the root of this? Like, cause obviously behavior is, you know, somewhat, they're just acting out sometimes, but then also, I mean, really all you can do is be like, you're grounded from TV, phone, whatever,
tablet,
food. Just kidding.
I've taken McKinley's door off her hinge. I was like, you're losing all of your privileges. So I took away her pillow. I took away her door. I took like, I came down hard, but it worked. Like she had to deal without privileges for a week and she didn't realize what privileges really were until that day. And sometimes you just have to do those things. So next one is from a lady that's married. She's been married for 14 years. So a long time. She said that she has the worst anxiety when her husband travels for work. He does FaceTime or Skype her in the evenings and at bedtime. He answers my calls always. He always brings me back a souvenir and has even surprised me by randomly flying me out to where he's going or coming home early. But I'm terrified of being cheated on because that's all you ever hear nowadays, that men travel so they can get something on the side. How do I rest my insecurities and stop worrying?
I don't think there's anything. I mean, he's doing everything he can, it sounds like, and maybe counseling might be in order to talk about why, like maybe counseling on her own, but then also counseling with her spouse, you know, so they can kind of talk things out, because it sounds like he's making every effort to show her that he's being honest and doing the right things. And
well, after being married that long and he's still like calling her like every
you
night.
have to eventually either trust someone or not.
You're just gonna like ruin your happiness by worrying, you know. And clearly, like I feel like he's doing all he possibly can to assure her. Like clearly, does that woman in his room at night? He's calling her, and I know it can happen like anytime, but I feel like that's more of an issue that she's having, because I feel like her husband, from what it sounds like, isn't doing anything to prove otherwise.
And not really giving her a reason, it doesn't sound like.
No.
So, yeah.
I don't have an answer.
Unless the trust is broken, then trust him. If you don't have trust, there's not much left. Yeah, I mean, like,
Absolutely.
if you don't have a reason
Mhm.
besides just being worried, like, obviously worrying sucks, but...
Yeah, but it eats up time and, like...
Yeah. She said, I don't feel like he would be putting that effort if he was cheating.
Yeah. Not consistently. Like, maybe one trip, so he's like, oh my God, I don't want her to find out, and I'm going to do this.
I gotta, like, do this for a cover.
That way she doesn't think, but if he just does, like, all the time, like she said, he's been traveling for years, then, like, why... To me, I'd be like, I have an amazing husband, and I totally trust him, and I'm so lucky, and he better bring me back a snow globe. I love snow globes.
Really?
Yes, I do.
I didn't know that about you.
I do. I mean, I don't have I only have just a couple, but I do love snow globes. Yeah. Okay. I
Learn something new every day.
My kids love them mostly. So anyway.
The kid inside of you.
Yeah. She's in there. She loves them.
Yeah.
Somebody said, would you gals
Mm-hmm.
give up social media for love? Absolutely. I would. I don't think you should have to, but like if it came to it, 100%. I mean, I think I'd have to keep my work pages and like this page, obviously. And then like if I was married or I was with somebody, they'd have access to it or something. It'd be like our page. But I think like my own personal page, if it was an issue for some reason that we had and it came down to like we're either gonna have to go to Facebook or whatever, which I don't really know what would come to that. But I know there's a lot of those quotes that say, would you give up social media for love? I would. But again, like, I don't know why you'd have to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I have a personal page, and that's just for like really close friends and family.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really use it that much anymore because then I have my work one, and I use that one for selling cars.
Yeah.
And then obviously this one, so I don't know.
I guess
I would.
Like,
I just don't see why I would have to.
The only time I think it would be necessary is like I had somebody that our relationship ended because I met somebody on Facebook and it was like, bad. If I was the kind of person to forgive him for that and be like, okay, let's work through this, then I might be like, we're not gonna have Facebook because I can't trust you on Facebook. At that point, yes. Yeah. But at that point, you really shouldn't even be together. Really. So, okay. So another guy that follows us asked us 3 questions. He said, what's the worst part about dating a guy?
Do I just have to pick one thing?
No, I don't. That's just such a funny question to ask it. I mean, it's like, I love it. That's it. I mean,
as opposed to dating a woman, or
I've never done that, so I'm not really sure.
Oh, man.
What's the worst part about dating a guy? Nowadays, I think like the feeling of like uncertainty for me, or like knowing like there's so many like the apps, like Tinder and all that, like there's like people that just want to hook up and there's people that kind of want to date, and then there's people that like are like kind of with you for a period of time and then they get so bored and they leave. And then there's people that are serious. And so I think it's just like the hardest part about dating somebody is for me is like worrying that like our intentions are the same and that we're like on the same page, and it's actually trusting that, I think.
You know what I don't like? The dirty clothes next to the hamper, the like face shavings around the sink, toilet seat up, pee on the toilet seat, all the shower mess, and like I really like having my own space where like I am the controller of how clean or how dirty that place is, and it's all my fault whether I cleaned it or not, or whether I left it out or not. And in my experience with living with guys, they're extremely messy, and
they are.
That's the worst part
all
for me.
Men are. They are.
That's the worst part for me, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just
and
a
it's
mess.
like one of those things where you'll like have a discussion and be like, sweetie pie, I need you to pick up your laundry a little bit more. Or
but there's no way that conversation ever goes good.
Yep.
It always turns into, oh, you're just so naggy.
Fight, or
it's always
like,
a fight.
Yeah, or sometimes like, I don't know, like I've had people who are like, oh yeah, I'll work on it. And then it's like,
I've never not had it be a fight.
It's amazing. And then after that.
It's never again.
But I mean, we all have our things, Yeah, that's fine. Like, whatever.
Not all men.
Amy, why did you, hiding phone and lies. What do you mean by that?
Oh, I think she was saying hiding phone about like
social
media. And then she said the worst part about dating a guy is lies. But
yeah,
I just have had to deal with messy people.
Yeah.
And that's always been an annoyance.
I don't know.
Sharing a bed is really annoying too. Like I really like to sleep diagonal starfish style. So
I like to sleep on my stomach. Sharing a bed is, I don't know. I don't really mind it. It just kind of depends on the mood that I'm in.
I'm usually in the mood to not share my bed.
On my own space. Yes.
I really like having my own space. I really do.
Clearly. I know that about you.
Can you scoot over a little bit more?
I'm
just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know. That's good. Oh, well.
What's next?
Yeah. Okay. Another question from the same dude is he said, what is crap? Hang on.
She can't read her writing.
No, I can.
I can't read it
either. I tried to summarize it, in a little bit of a summary, and I can't remember exactly what the guy said. So, hold on.
Amy said, Kara, we talked about it. Don't steal or lie about other kids.
Don't steal or lie about other. Oh, yeah.
Don't steal someone's kids?
No, I'm not going to say it because she told me about it tonight. Okay. But
it's an inside joke discussion.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Joe said thank you. Thank you for what?
These are his questions.
Oh.
Okay, so here's his question. What is something you
now you're outed.
What is something you have tried but you'll never do it again? I don't know how to answer that.
Is this a truth or dare question?
No.
Okay, good. I can think of a few things.
I can think of a couple. You can go first.
No, I can't. The only one I'm thinking of, I can't really say right now.
Let's.
I know. I'm trying to keep this family friendly.
Because there's families watching.
You go first.
What's something you have tried but you'll never try again? An oyster shooter.
Ew.
Never again. This is the most disgusting moment of my life. That's it. That's the first thing that came to mind. What about you? I think she would never try.
Yes, Amy. That's what I've been. That's the only thing I can think of right now.
Doesn't like it. Not everybody does. It's not for everybody.
That's the only thing I can think of. Otherwise, I'm pretty open to trying food.
She's not open to that. Believe me, I wouldn't know.
I'll try a lot of things,
but she
but
talks
yeah,
about it. That's a no for her.
Thank you for saying that, so I didn't have to say it out loud. That is a no.
That's a no for her. Okay. And the last question from this guy, my foot's asleep, is what do you think is the number one mistake men make when flirting with or hitting on a woman? 1, sending pictures that are unwanted would be 1. I think that on Facebook, I get messages. We probably both do daily.
Did I send you the last string of messages I got?
No.
I did not?
No, yes, you did.
Okay.
And I either won't respond to them or I'll say that I'm, not available or however I want to say it. And they will just keep messaging and messaging and messaging and messaging. I think that guys think that women like that becomes very weird. And also messaging you and then being can I get a picture? Within the first 5 minutes. That's another one. Talking about how much money you have or trying to really talk yourself up is just such a for me, I don't like that. I guess that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
Asking what your bra size is or if you like to all these things that they ask right away. It's just
I think it's not a one size fits all. There's definitely a lot of don'ts. There's not a one size fits all on the biggest mistake. But I think basically you need to use your brain and really read that person.
Yeah.
And kind of feel them out and not feel them up, but feel them out and kind of read them of get to know them. Just act like you're trying to meet a new friend and not right away go to because a lot a lot of people do the same thing where the first opening line they even say is, "Hey, are you single?" And it's well, if you looked at my page, you'd see.
You would know.
You would know. Or what do you do for work? Okay, well, if you looked at my Facebook page, you would know. And they're asking all these questions where it's okay, you could look at my page again, just look at it, and you'll know a lot of things.
People create fake profiles, this guy. Recently,
oh my gosh, yes,
all the time. But this guy was and I think I actually posted on Facebook a while ago, but he made a military profile.
I get those all the time, and I'm
And he actually was from like,
I can tell
I
this
want to
is fake.
say a different, I don't want to say what country, but it's definitely a different country, the way he was talking. But he kept saying, I love you, and I want to marry you, and you're beautiful. And I'd be like, you're crazy. And I would like write that, and then he'd say, I love you again. That was just, it was really weird. And so I feel like it's like an automated thing almost, like it's like a hack
bot.
something, but it's really weird.
Yeah.
So that's, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and also I actually have a few people that will like clockwork, like every day or every couple days, just message like, hey, how's it going? Mm-hmm. Or there's one guy, and I'll never answer. I've never answered once. It's just like millions of messages like that.
I have this
get the hint
pages for like 3 years, and finally the other day I was like, I'm not interested. Just in this last week, I was like, you've been messaging me for 3 years. Like I haven't even said hi. Like I don't understand. Like I'm not interested. And it's a no for me.
One guy like he asked me. All he does is he'll message me and be like, hey, what are you doing today? Or hey, what are you doing tonight? And every single time my response is working. And then he never says anything beyond that. And so it's kind of like a funny game.
I know who you're talking about. Yes.
And like every single time I'm working. Yeah. And like any other person that would normally talk would be like, oh, wow, you work a lot. What do you do? And like try to talk.
So in a nutshell, it's just being too forward and too pushy. I feel like are like
if someone's interested, they'll really talk back and like have a dialogue. But if they're not interested, just leave them alone.
Seriously.
Just stop.
Yeah. Okay. Should I add my girlfriend to my bank account? We've been dating for 8 months. She's completely broke and she wants me to help her. She doesn't have a job. Do you think it would be a smart move to show her that I care or a stupid move on my part? Stupid. She doesn't have a job. Like everybody has a different thought on finances, but if she doesn't have a job and she's broke, why would you add her to your bank account? And I feel like that'd be stupid.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely show her that you care and you can definitely help her out, but I wouldn't give her that control.
Offer to pay her like a couple bills and help her, or offer to help her find a job.
Yeah, help her out like feasibly where it's like, hey, I need help with XYZ and I'll give you X amount of money if you do it. Like make her work for it a little bit too, you know, like you don't need to be her sugar daddy. Like just within reason, help her out. That's great. But giving her control of your finances definitely is spelling trouble, I think. As much as you love and trust this person possibly, it's just...
She should be able to contribute. Like, you shouldn't be doing it because she's looking for something. You should do it because it's like you're at that point and you're both contributing into the financial part.
With...
anyway, so
when I was married... I do. When I was married, like, we never had a joint bank account. We were together for almost 10 years. Like, we had a joint bank account for... bills, like extra money and bills, like for savings for like fun events and stuff. But like beyond that, we had our own separate accounts where all of our own money went to, and then we paid our own bills, and then we put money in a joint account to pay like split bills.
But what did you do when you weren't working? Like he was working.
He paid all the bills.
So you don't really need to be on the same account.
Even when I wasn't working though, like I still had money I had income from going to school. So I still always had a little bit of income even when I stayed home with the kids.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it cut down money fights. Like we never fought about money because it wasn't an issue. Like we knew what we were responsible for, and that was it.
My husband and I fought about different things, but like the one thing we never fought out was money because we were really good about it. Like we had a bill account and we put like a percentage into that, and then we had my account and his account, but we were both signed on it just in case something happened, and we put money into that and then savings. And it was always the same amount for the most part, and we always communicated really well about money. So I think if you're gonna have the same bank account, you have to be able to communicate and trust each other clearly. Yeah. But nobody should ever put on your account because you need to bail them out of anything because that's
there's no reason to give them that control. I don't think.
No. So she had a couple of questions. Do you still have those?
Let me find them. Oops.
It's right there.
Yeah. Does anybody have any truth or dare questions yet? Like this is why we can't have nice things, guys. Like we were gonna do a whole episode.
So good too, and we're
my
ready
face
to
smells
play.
like Play-Doh.
Also, I can smell this Play-Doh right now.
My face is burning still.
Mine feels really good.
I had to take it off.
Okay, so the next questions are about parenting, for the most part.
Any truth or dare questions would be great.
Just ask one.
How do you overcome a loss in your life? Whether it be like a loss of pet, loved one, job, material things, like just any loss, I guess. Gambling loss.
I don't know, like, because those things are all different. So I don't, like, if I lost a pet that I, like my dog that I had she was with us for like 18 years, like that's a lot different than losing at gambling.
Well, yeah.
I answer it. But it was like a serious thing. I really don't know, because I deal with things a lot differently than I think some people do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to quantify, obviously. Like, some material things don't really matter. You just kind of like
You lose them, and
yeah, you just be sad about it. And then same with a loss of a person, I guess, too. Even like, you just let yourself be sad about it as long as you need to. Find a way to commemorate them and honor their legacy, and
always talk about them and their memories, like keep them alive.
But I mean, there's no timeline on being sad either. I mean, even with a pet too, like,
it sucks losing pets.
I still cry about my childhood dog.
Yeah, I can't even think about my dog.
I know. Stop talking about it because I'm gonna cry. Tell a joke or something.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Cash.
Cashew.
Oh no, I see. I'll have a peanut. It's kind of like my that's like my party joke that I just told. Nobody laughed. Can you ask a question? Just ask one. It doesn't matter. What inspires you to be a better person? My kids. Knowing that they're growing up watching me and learning from me, and there's always these like quotes all over Facebook all the time about like they're watching everything we do and every move we make, and I just like, if you look at the person I was 10 years ago, like there's even like a lot of people on here that have known me for years, like Kayla, she knows, Amy. I have not always been the person that I am, and that took a lot of work, but it was like after I had Inslee, I kind of had to make a decision that I was gonna, like, after my grandpa died is really what happened. And that was like around the time that I had Inslee, about a year after, and him dying was either gonna make or break me. And so I like looked at my kids and I was like, I gotta make some changes. And so I would feel like their faces and their happiness and everything, that makes me want to be the best version of myself all the time.
Yeah. Amy didn't hear the punchline, so she said, knock knock. Who's there?
Cash.
Cash who?
No thanks, I'll have a peanut. Thanks, you want a cashew?
And Rick said, when are you going to have the karaoke night?
We don't know yet. There's been a lot going on, but soon. Yes. We'll do it really soon. Nobody ever picked a song
Very
for
soon.
us. So.
Yeah, so we couldn't do it, obviously. We were waiting. So back to, okay, I got to the parenting questions because it's like a long list of questions I had. If you adopt a child, when do you tell them that they're adopted?
You should answer that.
I think obviously you just have to kind of figure out when it's appropriate for them based off their age and their maturity, because there's, again, with like discipline, there's no rhyme or reason for like, oh, when they're this age you do this, because you have to judge their maturity level as well. Like some kids when they're younger start asking questions, and you might have to approach it sooner than later, but you should just always be honest with them, I think. If they start asking questions, especially approach it.
I would just like read them, if you can tell that they know and they are asking about it, then I'm like open and honest with my kids.
Yeah, like I think you would not want to wait like their entire life and be like on your 18th birthday, surprise, I'm not really adopted. Yeah. Like I think you would want to like kind of
incorporate.
You would want to kind of judge like when they're mentally ready to handle that and mature enough to understand like that it's actually a good thing. Like it's not that your parents didn't want you and abandoned you. It's that we loved you so much that we took you in as ours. You're our son or daughter.
Yeah.
And there's no way to say like when that perfect age is. I think you should just broach it sooner than later though, so it's not like, again, a surprise when they're like 18.
Yeah.
Because that'll mess up their world,
Absolutely.
Like they'll be like, who am I? Yep. My life is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've always wanted to adopt kids, actually.
I'd love to be a foster mom.
Mm-hmm.
There was that video the other day of that lady that like fosters terminally ill kids.
Oh man, I don't know if I can handle that.
I think that'd be really hard, but I think like I would be really good at taking in kids that have like different disadvantages and like giving them a place. But I think it'd be really hard either way. You have to say goodbye, unless you adopt them.
Yeah. Oh man, this one's really hard. I didn't read all these. I just like had this list. How and when to approach children with the birds and the bees talk. Oh,
okay.
Have you had to do this one yet?
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest. We're both at the right. Her son's 11. McKinley is gonna be 11 next month. They've been asking questions. And he's been asking some.
Actually, I don't want to like put this out there what he's asking, but oh man.
So yeah, for me, I never even really thought about it until McKinley started talking to me about it. So now I'm like, okay, this is coming, and I'm like preparing myself.
We're there.
We went bra shopping the other day. Like all of these things are happening. Yes.
Aww.
Yeah. It's all happening like really quick for me. So, but I would say like around this age, it seems. I mean, I think I was this age. I remember sitting on the ground talking to my mom on the bedroom floor.
My parents talked to me about it when I was like 7.
And it like, really?
Well, I started asking a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So, inquiring minds want to know.
I just remember, like, after my mom telling me, I remember thinking, like, I'm like, oh my God, Grandma and Grandpa do it. I was like, oh my God. My aunt and uncle, I was just thinking of all these people, and I'm like, no.
You're like, ew. You're all disgusting.
Sick people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When my parents told me to, I was just like, ew, that's so gross.
So gross. Ew. Why would you do that?
That's terrible. Ugh.
Yeah.
Do I have to?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was like, I am never having kids.
I'm never. That's gross. But yeah,
okay.
I think it's gonna go very differently, like, because you have a daughter and I have a son, and I feel like it's like
a totally different
way that the talk goes, like completely different.
I know. I'm stressed out.
I'll switch. Like, I'll talk to your daughter and you talk to my son.
I just don't want to have that talk with their kids and like, how old were you and like, how did it go and what did you tell them? Like, I don't even know. I feel like I'm the honest parent. I want to kind of like have that open where she feels like she can talk to me, but I also don't want to be like, here's condoms, go do it. Like, no.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So I don't know how to like be realistic. I don't know.
Yeah. Thanks for the comments, guys. How do you deal with fake people?
I don't.
Without shanking a bee.
How do you deal with fake people without shanking a bitch is the question. I just don't deal with them. Like, if I think somebody's fake, I don't need them in my life or ignore them. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we're all adults, so you can really, I mean, at this point in our lives, we can really choose who we want to associate with or hang out with. So
keep your circle small.
Yeah.
Quantity.
Like, quality, not
quantity.
Quantity. Like, yeah, it's really not, there's really no situation where you have to deal with fake people. No. I mean, even
clearly this person's dealing with some fake people.
Even with family, though, like, you can always not hang out with them.
Yeah.
I know that's what's going on with me. So, and actually, I thought Christmas would be really sad, but it was actually really awesome not having to deal with that. Like, it sucked to rip off the Band-Aid, but
it had to be done.
In the end, it was just like,
she had the best Christmas.
Hey, actually, I had a really great day, and I was really relaxed with just my kids and the people who I wanted to spend all my time with. So, yeah. Okay, here's a good one. How would you react if you found out that your teenage daughter had various hidden social media accounts, ones where she was living a completely different lifestyle and spewing filth and trash about the people who truly care about her?
I would take everything away, electronics. Clearly, she'd have no access for, I don't even know.
Yeah, she shouldn't
at that point. She would have some super harsh punishments, like everything taken away from her, no freedom. She'd have to earn my trust back again, so that would take a lot. Yeah.
It's hard because, like, I kind of understand, like, you know, because I know the age of the girl is about 15, 16, and I know, like, being a 15 or 16-year-old, you're trying to like differentiate yourself from your family. Like you're trying to start being an adult and be your own person. But also it's really sad because I know she comes from a really good family where like she has it so good. And
to what extreme are you trying to like gain this independence and all these things, and what expense to the other people that care about you? So that has to be a lesson to her, you know?
Yeah, and it's like her family is there for her no matter what, and I can't think of one negative thing to say about them. So I mean, I understand like you go through those hormones and those like that really weird phase, but I think that, you know, it's up to the parents to rein that back in and be like, hey, you know what, that's not okay, and here's how we're gonna fix it. Homeschool them.
Earlier somebody asked a question about like a serious, like we've been trying to do like one serious question a night, I feel like, or two. I guess we just did a couple.
We've done a few,
but somebody was asking about how to repair
I should drink really quick.
Let me see what the question was actually.
I'm gonna knock over all of our setup. Hang on.
Okay, so they're asking about, they said that they had, and this like really relates to me because of my past, obviously, but they were talking about how they had a falling out with their parents and they didn't see their parents for, let's see, she says, we didn't see each other for 4 years. We've since made up. She's kind of worried about how to get the relationship back to where it was, and, you know, kind of like what her place is in her parents' life and things like that. And, you know, I went a long time without talking to my parents due to my own issues that I was having. And I called them up one day. That was part of my thing I talked about earlier about wanting to like be better for my kids. So I called them up one day and was like, I want to talk to you guys. And we ended up meeting like a week later or something at Nickelbee's of all places. But anyway, we met there. And I literally feel like, I don't know, my parents might be watching, but I think we talked for like 4 hours and we just had a really long, honest talk. And I think that when you have a falling out with somebody like your parents or like a sibling, I can imagine I'm only child, but it takes a lot of really honest conversations. It's been about 4 years since we got back to where we were, and it's taken like almost this whole 4 years to kind of get back to a good place. And there's a lot of like, there's been a lot of bad moments where we just kind of like all came to a head and had to take some space and realize we're adults and we're all coming from different directions. And I think that falling outs don't repair themselves overnight, and figuring out what your place is it's just going to take time, a lot of communication with your parents, and like reminding them. It sounds like this girl kind of was in a similar situation as me, but reminding them like what they mean to you and the value that you have in your life, and giving it time and giving them time to rebuild trust with you and learn who you are again and stuff, you know. My parents are like the best people I know, and I carry that guilt with me because that was a bad decision that I made, but you can't carry it with you forever and you can't dwell on it because what's that going to do? You just have to like forge ahead and rebuild, constantly rebuilding.
Yeah.
Yep. So just maybe like fun questions, because the rest of our questions are all like serious and sad, or we can just end it.
No one wants to do truth or dare. Everyone's pretty quiet tonight.
Well, I feel like they're not. Like on my phone, I see like all these comments, and then on there, I don't see them. So I don't know. It's not really working.
That's weird.
So, do you guys have any ideas? Because we've been trying to think of like ways to like make it more fun and more like interactive, and like I have some ideas where we like take this on the road, different places, and she does too. But I'm just trying to think of like ways to make it a little bit more entertaining for the people who are watching. Like theme night, maybe. Like tonight was Masks and Mimosas, but we need to add on that, obviously. Can you guys stop making so many comments? Like
I can't even keep up.
We need to read the comments.
Whoa, there's so many.
Yeah. So we're gonna do our next video probably on, I think, Monday. Is that what we're doing still? We'll have to talk about it. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Monday night. So if in the meantime, if you think of any like ideas for us, please send them our way along with your questions still, and follow us on YouTube. Share our page.
Yeah. Normally we'd probably do another one this week, but I'm on 12s all week, every single day.
Just like working a lot this week.
Like my eyes are like this right now. I'm just
really tired.
I've already worked 24 hours in 2 days.
What was I going to say? I was just
sorry. You said like us.
No, that's fine.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
I know, but I was
more
something
questions.
else. I know what it was,
sorry, I was trying to
That's okay. All right. So yeah, Monday night I think is the plan.
Okay.
Right? Okay.
I'm good with whatever.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
Bye.